Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to Ask That Podcast here on YouTube. I'm your host, Newt. What's going on, everybody? It's October. I love October. It's starting to cool down a little bit. It ain't, blazing. It ain't so hot that you walk outside within 5 seconds. You're drenched in sweat and you smell like you ain't showered in 3 weeks. Yeah, I know. I live in the deep south. It's like that most of the year. I get that. But October's that time of year it starts getting nice, man. You can actually go outside and I don't have to wear a tank top, a muscle shirt and shorts. I could actually put a pair of pants on, a shirt with sleeves, and not sweat my ass to death. So we got the October issue here of Remind Magazine. If you follow my channel here, I got started getting this magazine last month, September. It was their spy issue. Now, they never tell you what's going to be in the issue till you get it. And this one is Blast of the Past. It looks like to me, Munsters kind of Halloween thing, which is cool. The new Munsters film by Rob Zombie is out. As of recording, I've not watched it yet, but I am. I'm one of those. I don't hate Rob Zombie stuff. Probably his least out of all his films, the one I liked the least was Three from Hell. Everything else I've enjoyed. Even people hated on the Halloweens, I enjoyed them. So great cover here with Munster, Herman, Lily, Eddie, Marilyn, and Grandpa. So let's just slide over. And you can tell this is aimed at an older crowd. She got your jitterbug ads, and I think I mentioned this for him last. I got this, and my mother liked people. She likes getting stuff in the mail, stuff to read. She enjoyed People. Well, People is expensive. This is a hell of a lot cheaper, and there's more stuff in it. And she enjoyed the first issue. Did you know Yvonne DiCarlo's wig reportedly weighed close to 20 plus pounds and donned that daily duty resulted in her suffering from frequent headaches? Plus 8 more things you didn't know about the monsters. So let's open this up and see. Here we got the Boo Tube. Look, Bewitched, the Monsters, and Acid. There's a lot of horror, Halloween-y kind of monster themed shows back in that day. And as a kid, the Munsters and Addams Family aired after the cartoons on one of the local independent channels. It was Channel 15 out of Mobile, Alabama, which I think is the NBC affiliate now. They switched not that long before I moved out of the area. It used to be 15 was the Fox affiliate, before that was just an independent channel. But they, one week it'd be Monday, Wednesday, Friday be Munsters, and Tuesday and Thursday Addams Family. They'd flip it the next week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday Addams Family, and then Munsters. So got the Munsters there. Little Eddie Munster. Interview with Butch Patrick. He's always got some good stories. That's a good little interview. I love the green and purple tint on the photos here. And now a lot of people know that there was 2 Marilyns. Here's the 7 to 8 things you didn't know about the Munsters. Number 1, legendary makeup artist Bud Westmore of the Westmore family, who helped Mattel design the makeup look for Barbie in 1959, was responsible for the appearance of the characters on the series. Munsters was just one of Westmore's hundreds of credits, okay? If you watched the Monsters on April 18th, 1966, you saw a special of the series that no one ever see again for 30 years. Easter special, which saw the family visit Marine Land of the Pacific in Palos Verdes, California, to gain a new picture Eddie, never aired again, was thought to be lost, so a copy was donated to the Paley Center in New York in 1997. Did not know that. Number 3, the uncredited voice of Charlie the Raven, a sentient bird that lived in the mansion's cuckoo clock, was provided by Mel Blanc. Okay. As many youngsters do, Eddie had a large reptile for a pet which lived underneath the stairs. Spots bodies never seen, and a full body is never built. Only his head could be seen. And when the staircase opened, often combined with him breathing fire, his tail section was occasionally visible. In the failed 2012 NBC reimagining, Mockingbird Lane, which was that was horrible. Spot was shown in his full appearance. Number 5, future Lost in Space star Bill Mumy was the original choice to play Eddie, but his parents wouldn't let him, as they weren't fans of makeup you have to wear. He did, however, guest star once in an episode, Bring Back Little Googie. Number 6, the residents, Herman, Lily, and the rest of the family, called home and became part of several unknown series. Their House Lost Sin, Leave It to Beaver in later years was used in Coach and Desperate Housewives, among other series. Wow. Number 7, A Tale of 2 Marilyns. Beverly Owen left, and an actual brunette played Marilyn Munster in the first 39 episodes. She quit the show in order to get married. When she originally saw it, she assumed it would quickly flop. She wore a wig, and her hairline was covered up by a headband. At Priest, who played Marilyn for the remainder of the series, an actual monster, there was no need for a wig or a headband. Number 8. The first season's opening credits are outrageous parody of the opening credits of the Donna Reed Show, which always begins with Donna lovingly handing out lunches to departing families at the house at the time. Willie Munster did the same thing. And then we got the Monster Coach and Dragula, which sadly more people know that Rob Zombie song Dragula about this car, which I like the song, but God, for a while there, it was everywhere. It's like, God. If I have to hear Dig Through the Ditches and Burn All the Witches one more time, I'm going to burn all the witches and burn all the ditches. The Munsters, a love story. Rob Zombie gives fans the prequel they've been waiting for. I don't know all that because the reviews on it are not horrible, but a lot of people when that trailer came out were shitting all over. A lot of people will shit all over anything Rob Zombie does. I think it looks interesting. The Monster Mash, talking about what's his name? Pickett. Was it Bobby? Bobby Boris Pickett, talking about the origin of the Monster Mash song. If you want to know more about the Monster Mash song, go on YouTube here and search for Todd in the Shadows One Hit Wonderland on the Monster Mash. He goes into great detail. Way more detail than even I do, and I do a lot on that song. Okay. This is going to be the, listen over here, we got the September, back at 84. Minimum wage per hour in 1984 was $3.35. Wow. So minimum wage had not went up that much more. Almost 10 years later, when I started working my first legit job where I actually had to pay taxes and stuff. I'd worked before then. I didn't pay taxes. I worked in my dad's shrimp boat and did stuff like that. Postage stamp was 20 cents. A gallon of gas was $1.21. And people talk how high it is now. Currently it's like $2.88. So it's not went up that much considering 1984 was coming up on 40 years ago. Wow. That just blows my people born in 84 will be 40 soon. Wow. Welcome to old age, folks. But the top TV shows for the 84 through 85 TV season: Dynasty, Dallas, The Cosby Show, 60 Minutes, Family Ties, 18, Simon & Simon, Not Anything, Falcon Crest. God, a lot of nighttime soaps. And then their premieres during this time frame: Night Court, hell yeah. Miami Vice, yeah. Punky Brewster, cool. Highway to Heaven, never really watched The Cosby Show. Who's the Boss, watch it. Murder, She Wrote, Charles in Charge. And the shows that ended that year: Fantasy Island, Heart to Heart, One Day at a Time, Three's Company, Happy Days. Wow, Happy Days lasted 84. You realize that? Cat and Kangaroo and The Edge of Night. I remember The Edge of Night. Popular movies. Okay, I've actually seen all 6 of the popular movies, but here's the thing. Now, I grew up in the 80s. By 84, I was 10. 16 Candles was just recently. Popular toys, new products. The Sony Discman, yes, the portable CD player. If you sneeze, it skipped for 5 minutes. All right, who all died this year? Ethel Merman, Marvin Gaye, Ansel Adams, Count Basie, Andy Kaufman. I've been watching Taxi reruns recently, so yeah. The ruling on non-French copyright, great. Radio 360. October birthdays: Tom Bosley, Groucho Marx, Jack Wagner, Kate Winslet, Sigourney Weaver, Marie Osmond, Penny Marshall, Robert Reed, Bela Lugosi, and Funicello. Michael Landon was born on Halloween Day, didn't it? Henry Winkler. Oh, I love this. It's about they got a new car. There's no cassette player in it. And they're telling us about the little device where you can transfer your cassettes onto the CD. Wow. There's not been a cassette player. I can't tell you the last time what was it? Probably about 90s, probably the last year they were putting cassette players in cars. I think it's somewhere around there. Hell, you don't hardly find CD players anymore, which I miss. I love my CD player. Vampira. Oh man, Plan 9 from Outer Space. Morgus. Oh man, Morgus is one of those I heard about from my parents' series. I love horror hosts. If you had picked up on I love me some horror hosts, and Morgus is the New Orleans horror host. And I never got to see him because by the time I was watching TV and pay attention, either the show was not airing or we didn't get the channel, but they told me about it. I have to point this out. They'll both love reading that. Oh, Sven Gulli, my horror host. I'm in that weird generation where it was in the 80s. We did have, Elvira, but Elvira's show did not air. Like, I remember seeing one Halloween night when I was a kid. She aired the colorized version of Night of the Living Dead and then House on Haunted Hill, but I never saw her show regularly. But if anybody out there knows any information on this, there was I want to say it was out of Mobile, but it could have been Pensacola. There was a horror host called Sergeant Greggs. And he was a zombie. He was a zombie from the Civil War, and he wore like a Confederate uniform. And his tagline was, when they go to grocery, "Don't touch that dial or I'll have to bite you." And he showed shitty horror movies on Saturday nights on what had to be Mobile because it was Channel 3. And I remember this going on into the 80s, but Most of our friends I've talked to them, they don't remember watching because they didn't have a VCR. Their parents would let them stay up late even on Saturday. My parents would. He showed 2 movies. And sometime in the 80s, like probably about 80, 45, they got rid of him. And they just showed the 2 movies. And I loved watching. I can't show this guy anywhere, no pictures, nothing. And I did not know that Mississippi ever had a horror host until quite a few years back at CoastCon. I met Margali, who was this lady. She horror hosted out of Jackson. I don't know what channel. And she aired her unaired episode of Night of the Living Dead, which was great. And I got to talk to her, and I told her, I'm a huge horror host fan. I love this stuff. She's like, I have all my old episodes. If you're willing to pay, shipping and the cost of blanks, I'll put them all on DVD for her. So I gave her my address, and I've never got them in, which who knows what happened. I'm sure there's piles of people that gave her information at the con, but Sunguli, I don't watch every episode, I'll be straight up. But I do record it every week. And if it's a movie I want to see, I'll watch it. If it's a movie I don't care about, I'll watch spin segments. Like just recently, he showed The Killer Shrews, which I've seen hundreds of times. But I watch spin segments. I love spin. So I got me a Svengoolie shirt. And if you want to watch it, he airs on MeTV, which is over the air. But if you can't get them in your area and you have streaming for $6 a month, you get the service called Friendly. The word friendly just allows. It's $6 a month and change, and you get like MeTV and a bunch of those other digital substations, plus an unlimited storage DVR for $6 a month. And to me, it's worth it to get Sin and a couple other things. Elvira. I said, that's the horror host from my era, but I never really saw her that much. And then, of course, 90s, Joe Bob Briggs. This is the one I saw the most of because I had Movie Channel, which he was on. And then, now, I'll be honest, I did not watch him on Monster Vision because the movies were cut to shreds. I'm like, man, I don't want that movie. And I see so many people rave about this show. I'm like, man, did y'all just, they didn't have Movie Channel, or just never watched it. I have Shudder. I get every year for Christmas, one of my presents from my parents, they pay for a year of Shudder for me. Shudder, not Shutter, Shudder. I know sometimes I kind of words weird. And they do Joe Bob. And Last Drive, man, I love it. It's Joe Bob. You got his new male girl, Darcy, a.k.a. Diana Prince, who does, they're great. And it's uncut, and like he showed Cannibal Holocaust. It's like, oh man, fucking uncut Cannibal Holocaust. He showed TCM, I love Joe Bob. Oh, the Turner Classic, what they're showing. Okay. The good little list in here. It says $2 an issue, so $24 for a year. And this is the Turner Classic. All the stuff they're showing in October. I end up watching Night of the Living Dead every year in October. There's 2 horror movies I make sure I watch every year. Night of the Living Dead is one. The other one is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I'll go into the story real quick. I've said it before. But when I was 3 years old, I have a cousin. He's about 10 years older than me. So he's about 13. He was staying part of the summer with us, and my mom was going to, I think, a tough work party or something with Dad. My cousin wanted to go see Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the Drive, and this would have been 1977, maybe 78. And I'm like, oh, well, Newt will fall asleep on the ride over. The movie don't start at 9. He'll fall asleep. Well, they took me. I stayed awake the entire movie for what they told me. I got vague memories of little scenes from the film, and when I got to meet Gunner quite a while back before he died, it was 98, I think, I got to meet Gunner and told him, if he gave me this weird look, kind of like, what kind of parents takes their kid to see the movie? And I explained to him, he's like, oh, okay. My favorite movie of all time. Look what Sungula, okay? They're doing an Adams Wednesday show on on Netflix. The Sunguli Kent Yorga? Toonie! Yes! Sid Toonie is Svengoolie as a puppet that's part tuna, hosting cut-down versions of public domain films, and I love it. It's 30 minutes. I love it. Okay, Ick, The Terror from Beyond Space, The Ting with the Bride of Frankenstein, and Fiend Without a Face. Man, it's got some good stuff. And the other stuff we got like, let's see here. Are You Afraid of Dark's coming back? Buffy. A lot of good stuff. And of course, we got our puzzles and all that. And I don't do a lot of these. My mother does. I don't. I ain't that big on crossword puzzles and stuff, but hey. And then, of course, there's trivia at the back. Look, Scooby-Doo. They're coming to get you, Barbara. Oh, Pat Priest. And I'm going to end it on, look at that back cover. Look at that gorgeous back cover. I don't know what that artist from. I love it. So, yeah, worth the $2. Worth the $2 a month, you know. Like I said, I split the cost more. She pays $1, pay $1. We flip through it, and then, you see, I scratched out her address. But I'm going to let everybody go. Remember, if you enjoyed this video, give me that thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, all those bullshit. Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.